Tip number 2. One of my favorite books in recent history is a book called Range by an author named David Epstein. And Range, in addition to validating my own life and experience, it does a wonderful job of portraying the opposite of what we're encouraging either intentionally or subconsciously our young people today, which is hyper-specialization. So in his book, David explores the concept of prolonged exploration and diversity of experiences rather than choosing a niche at an early age in life and pursuing that and only that. And the really nice analogy that he uses is the Tiger approach, the Tiger Woods approach, or the Roger approach, which is the Roger Federer approach. Tiger, as we all know, started golfing when he was 1.5 years old. And he became a professional at a very young age, and he dedicated his entire life to golf. Roger didn't even play tennis, I think, until he was in his teens, which is incredibly different than most tennis players. And he played a variety of different sports growing up. He explored the world around him. And once he decided that tennis was his favorite, he then stuck to that a little bit more formally. But so David does a nice job of, I think, pulling us back and helping to articulate, helping us to understand what are the benefits of prolonged exploration, which in his opinion in the book, based on science and anecdotal evidence, is definitely into the 20s. In other words, in today's world where students know what they're going to be doing for the rest of their life when they take their first step on campus, he argues for more of a liberal arts or a broader education, going back towards more kind of the way that university and college began in their history. So prolonged exploration, in his definition, it's useful because of a number of things. The first thing is analogical thinking, which he describes as the ability to take our experiences, our lived experiences, our knowledge, our skills that have been developed in one domain and apply them to another. And the reason that this is so important is because one of the greatest skills that you can have in the workplace, in any workplace today, is creativity and innovation and parallel thinking. And that's what employers are looking for, regardless of how many jobs machines take over. The human skills are embedded in creativity and communication and critical thinking. So that's one aspect that he touches on, analogical thinking. And he shows throughout the book that there are two great ways to help people develop that skill. One is called spacing, which means practicing the same skill set over and over with space in between, so that the brain can make the connections and that you can rework those skills and maintain them over time and develop them, rather than our typical go to a conference and learn as much as you can in 2 days, or sit in class and cram for your exam the next day in 12 hours, and then we forget everything that we just took on. So spacing really alludes to the fact that you want to learn a skill and practice it with space in between to let the neurons do their thing in your brain. The third is called interleaving. And that's something whereby you learn and apply skills in different domains that cut across a number of different domains and areas. And the benefit there is that the brain learns to use analogies and learns to apply previous skills in new areas when they're applicable. And these are a number of aspects that we have been doing at Discovery Year since we started. We didn't know what they were called. So it's nice that David helped us understand, because in our program, students learn in different contexts, which include our workshops, Discovery Days. It includes the travel period where they travel independently. And of course, they're all working during the year as well. And they also have a community service project that they work together to deliver based on their own interests. So we're helping them develop these fundamental skills during our workshop, and then they're going out and applying those things with space in between. Our workshops are held every week. And then they bring the skills that they're learning in the world and they compound those, they work on them, they rethink them, then they go out and they apply them in another context. And we do see a big growth in terms of how they can draw the parallels between different aspects of their lives and different skills that they have by the end of the year.